Yo, peak game. These playoffs has been something else, man. That protest, some of the players doing the salute to Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, by the way. But I would have done the semifinals like my predictions together, but the East is terrible and the West is loaded. So the West, their conference gonna be its own separate video. So here are my Eastern Conference semifinals predictions. Um, First, I have to say where I'm wrong at first. Um, I thought the Bucks would have swept the Magic. They won in five. I got the teams right, but I didn't get the games right necessarily on that one. So the Bucks winning didn't surprise me, but them losing game one surprised me. Um, Miami was a big surprise sweeping Indiana. I thought Indiana would have gotten two games because, Malcolm Brogdon was relatively healthy. I knew Victor Oladipo was coming back. I thought that could have made that series interesting, but it didn't. Like I, that surprised me, and the Heat swept, and that was a shock to me. Boston sweeping Philly. It didn't necessarily surprise me, but like the fashion of how they did it, I thought Boston would have won that series, but I thought it would have been in five games because I thought Joel Embiid would have gave me one just because of Boston Celtics are a relatively small team and there's nothing you can do with Joel Embiid when he's on the block and focused. So I thought that would have gave me one. I think it was like game two or three. I thought would have been okay. They have a chance to win this and it's gone. So the Celtics sweeping, that was a bit of a surprise. But the biggest non-surprise of the Eastern Conference was Brooklyn getting swept by the Raptors. That didn't surprise me at all. Brooklyn doesn't have Kyrie, they didn't have Kevin Durant. They didn't have either one. So that did not surprise me with that sweep. So I was actually right. I was right with the teams in the Eastern Conference, but boy was I wrong on the games other than one of them. But here are my predictions for the Eastern Conference semifinals, and I'm gonna start with the Bucks and Heat because that one I can the other series I'm gonna dive into a little bit more because I think that's gonna be the more interesting series. Now, my predictions for the Bucks versus the Heat. I'm gonna roll with the Bucks, and I'm gonna roll with them in 7 games. And the reason I'm rolling with them in 7 games because Miami has Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler is a dog. You know what I'm saying? He provides a lot of energy to that team. He's quite clutch, and if some of those games are close, you gotta watch out for Jimmy Butler knocking down clutch baskets, and he plays good defense. That team seems to be rallying around him. They got a good coach. Even though I'll say this, speaking of Miami's coach, Eric Spoelstra does not get enough credit and doesn't get enough respect. I think he's on a trajectory to be one of the greatest coaches. I think he's got to win like another championship or two, and get some more playoff wins and things of that nature. But Eric Spoelstra, man, he's on that trajectory, man. I mean, he got LeBron to like play lockdown defense during when LeBron was there those 4 years. So, anyways, I'm gonna roll with the Bucks in 7 for one reason. The one reason is who can stop Giannis on the Heat? I mean, Bam Adebayo. I mean, I know he's tall, this and that. I don't think he can stop him. Like the Greek Freak is strong as hell. He's a good passer. He's a great rebounder. I mean, the only way it can really hinder Giannis is to form a wall and make him shoot the mid-range shot. But I just don't see anybody stopping him. I mean, I know Kawhi was able to stop him, contain them last year, but Kawhi is strong. Like, he's a really strong dude. I don't think Jimmy Butler is as strong as Kawhi Leonard, and I don't think Jimmy Butler's the defender Kawhi is. So that's why I'm gonna roll with the Bucks. The biggest key, I think, for the Bucks to win this, Chris Middleton's got to step up. He cannot have another game scoring only 2 points. Like, he can't have that. He's lucky they're playing the Magic, because I think if they're playing the Heat and he was doing that, the Heat would probably won that series instead of the Bucks. But that's another story. So Chris Middleton to me is the key in that game, he's got to step up. He's got to drop at least, I would say, 17 to 20 points a game. Knock down some threes, help space the floor. Ball movement is going to be key. And spacing for the Bucks and for Giannis to kick out to the shooters and things of that nature. I think the biggest key for the Heat is, I say, keep it close. Like, try to keep all the games close. Get out to the shooters and try to contain Giannis. I think that'll be the key for the Heat to win. But I definitely think this is going 7 games either way. Whoever wins that. And I think the pressure, but I think the Heat's advantage is they're playing with house money. Like, some people think they're gonna win, but the odds favorite picking, like, I think the Bucks are in the top 3. I think they dropped from number 1 to be the champions this year. But I mean, the Bucks got Defensive Player of the Year and reigning MVP. He probably won't be back to back, but man, that's going to be a really good series. I think defensively, I don't see many of the games going above 120 because both teams play really good defense. And also the other key for the Heat, speaking of the Bucks defense, the Heat's got to knock down shots. I know they're knocking down shots against the Pacers, but they got to knock down shots because there is a weakness in the Bucks defense that you can get some decent perimeter shots up. So that's going to be a key for them, and Jimmy Butler being clutch. And that supporting cast, Bam, also is going to be a key. But I'm still going to roll with the Bucks at 7 because, one, I did pick the Bucks to go to the finals. So I'm going to still stick with that, So I got them in 7. Now, my predictions for the Celtics and Raptors. Whew! This is going to be a series. I mean, I think this is going to be a classic slugfest. Both teams going back and forth. And this one, like, if anybody picked the Celtics to win the series, I wouldn't be surprised. If anybody said the Raptors are going to win the series, I wouldn't be surprised. Nor will I have like an argument against either one. But I'm gonna form an argument. I'm gonna go with Toronto. I think based on experience, they are probably one of the most disrespected reigning champions we've ever seen. I mean, like, they're so slept on, and they play really good team ball. They just give it to the hot hand. If Siakam's hot, they're gonna let him eat. If Van Vliet gets hot, they're gonna let him eat. Kyle Lowry, etc., etc. They got some really good players. They play really good team defense. Although you didn't really see that against the Nets, just because the Nets without Kyrie and KD are not a great team. I'm surprised they even got to the playoffs, but that's another conversation for another day. But I think I'm gonna go with the Raptors because of the championship experience. They do play good defense. They move the ball around well. And the other thing is, I think the Celtics are too small, man. You got a lot of skilled bigs on the Raptors, and I think that's gonna give Boston some issues. And Nick Nurse is a much better coach than Brett Brown. So, but either way, like, if the Celtics happen to win this series in 7, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But I'm gonna stick with the Raptors just because of the championship experience and things of that nature. But I do think the keys, if Boston wants to pull this off, I think Jason Tatum's got to play out of his mind on both sides of the floor and be tough trying to get those rebounds like he was doing against Philly. Like that one game, I think he had like 15 rebounds. I think that was the last game, game 4, when he had 15 plus rebounds. But I think Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's got to play out of their mind. I think Gordon Hayward's going to come back in this series. He'll definitely be an X factor that I think was going to make this series go the distance. But I'm really excited about both series. I wasn't really excited about the rest of the East because I kind of knew it was like, man, most of these series are going to be only one series I thought was going to be a long series, but Miami swept the Pacers. So we'll see, man. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. when the Western Conference first round gets wrapped up, I'll do my predictions on that. But until then, be easy, guys. Deuces.